Hello everybody, my name is Damien Rocks and welcome to your New Moon review for September 2012. Welcome to the new video format. What I'd like to do from here on in is present our monthly horoscopes in this kind of content or this kind of format just because it's more user friendly, it's a bit more fun and hopefully a bit more interactive, so please enjoy. So, the first thing that we need to talk about for the month ahead is well, what we need to do actually is step back in time, because what we're doing now is we're entering into what's called a new Mars-Saturn synodic cycle. What that means is in the last few days, Mars and Saturn have conjoined in the sky in the sign of Libra. And so what that does is it kicks off a new cycle of growth and development, particularly around themes of independence, assertiveness, relationship, finding myself within relationship, and also what I need to do to bring relationship into my life. So in order to understand where you're at now, it might be well worth your while to think back to the period in your life around the end of July 2010 and then through into August, because that was the last time that we began one of these Mars-Saturn synodic cycles. So take yourself back then and just have a little bit of a think about all of the developments in your life that have happened from mid-2010 up to this period now in 2012, because that's the period of the last synodic cycle that you've just been through. And if you think about the themes in your life around relationship, who you're working with, who you decided to partner up with, how that developed and how that unfolded, and where that leaves you now in terms of issues around independence, assertiveness, stating your truth, finding the middle ground, establishing balance, all of these really strong Libran themes. Have a think about where you're at now in terms of where you're at then, and hopefully you'll be able to recognise a growth process within yourself, and also hopefully you'll be able to see how you've developed and grown as an individual, and also hopefully how your relationships have improved. So over the last few weeks, or even, well, I would probably even say the last sort of 4 to 6 weeks, a lot of us have been going through some pretty tough lessons. A lot of people have been getting in touch with me and talking about some fairly significant challenges in life. We've all had stuff to deal with in the last few weeks because we've really been writing our relationship to ourselves, and from that everything else stems out. So as much as it's been hard or difficult, it's also been really worthwhile, and now with this new moon we're setting the seed for the next 2-year cycle. So it's also a beginning, and hopefully you can leave stuff behind. So from that point of view, the new moon, which falls this weekend, this new moon sits pretty much in what we call a sextile aspect to the Mars-Saturn conjunction. So what that's saying to us from an astrological point of view is that the new moon participates in this seeding opportunity, which is around creating new structures, new rules and regulations, if you like, new ideas about self and other in our relationships, so that we can potentially have a more mature experience thereof into the future. So the new moon brings the opportunity to state your case, to clearly delineate what it is that you need or don't need, want, don't want, expect, don't expect, etc., 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 to yourself and to certain individuals in your life, so that the next 2 years for you will have a much more rewarding, if you like, outcome. Alright, so that's kind of interesting. The other big thing that we've got going on this month is we've also got Uranus and Pluto coming back again to form an exact square. So this is a square, meaning a challenging aspect between these two outer planets that has been forming steadily all the way through the year, and we've already had one peak earlier on this year, and now we're due for the second peak of this energy. Now these two planets together signify transformation, change, sudden liberations, awakenings, expecting the unexpected, and it's pointing to broad, global or collective change. Rather than just stuff that's going on in personal lives, it's also pointing to a bigger picture globally. I think the good news really is that at this stage of 2012, we've all been waiting for 2012, we've all been sensing that it's a period of major shift or evolution of consciousness for all of us. I think it's kind of heartening that we've got to this point of the year and, you know, things are cruising along pretty well. So we've already had one peak of the Uranus-Pluto energy earlier in the year and things have been okay. And now we're coming up to the second peak. So I'm going to take that as a fairly strong statement that even though, you know, shit happens, as we all say, and even though life is hard and it is tough, etc., 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 and there is negativity in the world, I think that there's more positivity in the world. And so this energy that we're going through at the moment, it brings us back to being grateful, okay, about what it is in our life that we have, what's working, and what we can do to contribute in a creative way to bring more love and more light into our lives. So the Uranus-Pluto square that's coming up through September, again, it may be bringing up for some of us, particularly people that have got strong planets or points, around 7 to 9 degrees of the cardinal signs. Hopefully you know who you are. Those of you who have that going on, you may have some, you know, some personal issues to deal with, but nonetheless, okay, there's a real sense that despite the challenges around us, we're all evolving, we're all growing. So at a broad collective level, we can look for opportunity, we can look for examples of new levels of consciousness coming through. And it's very much something that we want to embrace and open up to, because this is the kind of stepping into the new world that 2012 is supposed to be all about. It's not the end of the world, not at all. It's actually the foundation of a new level of consciousness. So we'll look back to this time hundreds of years into the future and we'll see this as a kind of a renaissance period. We'll look back to this period and we'll understand that it was at this time that humanity grew to another level of development of consciousness. Okay, great. And the only other thing that I want to just mention to you, of course, is the next full moon, which is coming up on August 31st. That will be the full moon in the sign of Pisces, okay, while the sun's in Virgo, which is also known as the harvest moon, particularly in the northern hemisphere. So it's usually very big, bright, beautiful and bold. It's kind of a special time of year to celebrate again the theme of gratitude. So again, the harvest moon brings a sense of collecting what we've been, collecting the fruits of our labour. And so with the full moon that comes up around August 31st, 1st of September, just take a moment to really sit, embrace what you've got, be thankful for it, put your arms around it, go, wow, how lucky am I? And then continue on. Alright, so for anybody who'd like to book a consultation, you can get in touch with me. My name's Damien Rocks through my website, Stars Like You, www.starslikeyu.com.au. And if you want a more personal astrological forecast, then have a look at the different forecasts for each of the signs. Enjoy. Thank you.